Hi everybody, welcome to Goat Sports Performance. Dr. Tim Baghurst, and have a special guest with me today, Rafael Filippini from Gearbox Sports. And Rafa, thanks so much for joining me. You and I met about 10 years ago when you were actually starting Gearbox Sports.
That is correct. We were in Houston.
Yeah.
I remember, yes.
Tell me a little bit about how you started your company and how you've seen things change in racquetball over the last decade.
Well, I started Gearbox with the idea of growing racquetball. That's our primary mission, grow racquetball, and with the goal of making racquetball a mainstream sport. I felt that racquetball in general is in a good path. It was better obviously in the 80s and then it sort of tapered down in the 90s. But what I feel is good is we have infrastructure. Most people that you meet, they've run across, they've either played, their dad plays, somebody they know has played. So the word about racquetball is already out. And so you have facilities, you have players. What we don't have is organization. So the idea is, how do we connect the community? How do we, and there's several ways you can do it with, at the pro level and sort of push down. You can come in and promote fitness and health and, you know, how just fitness and health and mind. So we go out there and hit the road and we kind of are doing it from both ends, from the grassroots level and then the pro level. And now, thankfully, after 10 years, and we have social media and the way we can reach the audience, it's so much better if you don't have the budget for TV, right? So now we have a lot of new tools available to us, and I think it's helping to spread the word about racquetball in general.
You've seen a lot of racquetball, not only as a player, but now as an owner of a company. What do you think about professionalism in racquetball? We've talked about this a little bit before,
yes.
But just kind of share your thoughts on that and how racquetball players can be professional, not only on the court, but off the court.
Yes, so being a professional, I think it goes further than just having the title, you earn money to play the sport. So you have to be professional in the way you behave, the way you market yourself, the way you promote, because at the end, I feel that the individual or the athlete, it's also its own corporation, its own business, and its own entity. So you have to treat, just like any other business, you have several departments. You have your finance, the marketing, promotions, and you know, your production and customer relations and everything else. So you have to understand each one of those components, and just like in any business, they all have to have a balance. And as an athlete, you have to view yourself that way. So view yourself as a business is what you're saying. Absolutely. I feel you have to do that. And when you do that, now, so yes, I'm player, you know, I'm the number 5, the number 4 player in the world. So now what I'm looking at is, okay, what's my revenue like? So if my income is from a sponsor, let's say a racket company or an outside of the industry sponsor, well, okay, it's fine to wear a logo or to talk about it on TV, but in today's world, there's so many more avenues that the individual can do to promote the companies that are paying them. So social media, being out there, making sure that when their match is over, they know somebody's going to come and do an interview. You know, put on the hat. Make sure you maybe take a little time out. You just played a 2-hour match. You're sweaty. You're clean up. Change the shirt. Put on the proper apparel. Maybe put on additional logos of the individuals you represent. We see that in other sports, car racing, wrestling, boxing. I mean, those are the people that are paying the individual to get out there. So the individual should also be conscious and understand that that's where their income comes from. So take a little bit of time and pay them back, or give them the promotion that they're looking for. And it's a win-win, because if they are seeing traffic because of what you do, then the next time you go to negotiate, it's going to be much easier, and perhaps you can negotiate to have a little increase or a pay raise, you know, in this case. So
and you've said before that somebody ranked lower than someone else on a tour can sometimes be more successful, and it's based not necessarily on their prize money and how they're doing in a tournament, and that they're always coming in a final or a semifinal, but more about the visibility that they have to be able to go to potential partners or sponsors and say, this is who I am, this is the brand that I bring, rather than just, well, I'm a good player.
Yes, and the way to look at that is to say, okay, well, I'm number 4 in the world, and I have, you know, people see me. The problem with racquetball, I think at one of our largest stages, we can bring in 1,000, maybe 1,500 viewers. There's some special circumstances where maybe you can get a few more viewers in there, but still that's a very limited audience. So what do you do to, as an athlete, say, well, you build your own, your following, right? So you can build it through social media, such as Facebook, Instagram, all the new medias that are constantly changing. Make sure you stay on everyone, and then also you build a customer base through either an email list or phone contacts, and that way you stay in touch with them, let them know what you're doing, connect with them. So you don't have to be the number 1 individual, because I mean, generally, what does number 1 mean? It doesn't mean that, yes, you're the best, but actually you're just getting more TV time. So you're in the finals, you're in the semis, and you get those extra matches online. So when you're not the number 1 person, or you're constantly in the semis and the final, well, then you got to get visible in other ways. So you create, you know, this following. So when you do change, let's say a new brand offers you a contract because you are number 3. When you sit down and negotiate your contract, you say, well, okay, I'm number 3 on this tour. However, I've built my social media where I'm also bringing you 100,000, 200,000 followers that will constantly see the brands that you promote. So you got to, and that's where I feel the value is. So you don't need to be the number 1 player to build such a following, and that's where the value is. I know we looked at an individual, I don't recall his name, but he was a hockey player, and he built millions of followers on social media, and he actually has like a webcast, and then he does commercials, and he does things, and he puts them out. So he makes money from just the videos that he posts. He gets paid, and the guy's he makes more than millions, I think, just from those promotions and advertising, and that has nothing to do with his actual field hockey playing.
Right.
So that was just kind of a. So we're trying to, with our athletes, and say, look, guys, get out there, engage with the people that are at the tournament, engage with the individuals everywhere you go, and let them know what you do. Create a following. But I think in our world for racquetball, where many of the pro athletes are a little bit shy about it, they don't go and say, well, I'm a professional racquetball player. Sometimes when we do say that, they're like, the first reaction is, oh, there's professional racquetball.
Right.
You know, and like, does that mean you play for money? And it's like, yes, you know, you could actually, you know, you don't make a tremendous living, but people can survive playing racquetball, and a limited few. But I think that can grow if the individuals go out there and they work. But it's a difficult balance, because a lot of times they're just trying to survive and trying to improve ranking, versus understanding like, well, let me build my brand, let me build myself. And that's a difficult concept. So for a lot of our athletes, we try to guide them through and tell them, and then they get some rejection. So, but it's just like anything. I mean, if you go and you're soliciting for advertising, you're going to get rejected 20 times, and you may land the one. So, but a lot of times they get frustrated. Well, I've already asked all my friends, or I've asked and I'm not getting a response. Well, you don't quit. You got to keep going, right? It's just like when you started your racquetball career, you didn't go in there and start winning every tournament. You had to pay your dues. It's the same thing. But once you build and you create a following, then what I've seen is people now look for you, because they see that you're kind of a good investment because you got a lot of people, you have a lot of eyes on you. So that's what companies want, you know. So if somebody's kind of hot and they're constantly on TV, they're getting interviews and doing this and that, and you know, going everywhere. Well, yeah, I want my brand on that individual, right?
Well, if you're looking for Gearbox Sports, you can find them at gearboxsports.com and also on Instagram, Facebook, and many of the other social media outlets. But for now, Rafa, thank you so much for sharing your expertise and your experiences over the last 10 years. It's been great knowing you. And of course, I wish you and your company the best in the future.
Thank you, Tim, and also good luck to you with Goat Sports. And thank you guys for watching, and I hope you continue to follow racquetball, check out all the pro tours, get engaged with your community, and let's build racquetball together.
Thanks.